Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. What day is it? Wednesday. It's Wednesday. So, if you guys are popping on with me live, please say hello so I can say hi back to you. I'm going to make sure that I am live here. I don't see me. What's happening? I see I'm on YouTube. All right, I'll share it after. So, hello and welcome. So, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about 3 questions you need to ask yourself about diet mentality. So, if you guys are watching live, once again, say hello. If you're watching on the replay, #replay, so I can come back and say hi to you then. So, if those who don't know me, my name is Martina. I am a self-love coach empowering women to find self-love at any size through many different holistic approaches. So today we're going to talk about 3 questions you need to ask yourself about diet mentality. So before we get started, if you guys are watching on Facebook, which I don't think it's working, but if you are watching this later on Facebook, I would encourage you to go over to YouTube, type in my first and last name, and click the subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications so you don't miss a thing. So I'd love to have you in that space. So, diet mentality. This has been quite a journey for myself of learning to kind of undo all the things that I knew about diets and how harmful they've actually been to my own personal wellness journey. So it's challenging. It's not easy, and the thing is we have promises that that are out there that we can lose weight quickly and easily and forever, and we are bought into that, and it's never realistic. Not very often it's realistic. It's super hard to meet those expectations that are placed upon us, right? So I actually get angry at the lies that lead us to feel that we are like a failure anytime a new diet stops working. And so I yo-yo dieted for years, for most of my 20s, half of my 30s probably. And I yo-yo dieted. I went on diets, I lost a bunch of weight. I thought I would feel good about myself. I didn't. And that's when something changed. Like I went for those who don't know my story, which lots of you do, but if you don't, I went on an 80-pound weight loss journey, and in seeking happiness and like body acceptance. And when I got to the end of that 80-pound journey, realizing that I never felt any different than I did heavier. So the size of my body didn't determine how I felt inside, about my worth, about my body acceptance, about my mind. Like my mind was telling me that it didn't matter what size I was, that it was still saying that those words, like I had to change my limiting beliefs of that I was telling myself that I wasn't worthy, that I wasn't enough, unless I had this ideal body that you would see in social media. And so that's when I got angry, and I've decided since then that I'm not buying into that anymore. And since then, I've become happier, I've become healthier, and I now empower other people to do the same through a bunch of different holistic approaches, not just mindful eating, but it has become more of a recent passion of mine, and I'm doing some learning around that. So today I have 3 questions for you guys to ask yourself on what about diet mentality, and maybe things that you could maybe start putting into your own practices of your life. So the first thing is that what has the diet mentality costed you? Thinking back on your own weight loss journey or your own journey of health and wellness, on thinking back, what has it costed you? So has it costed you your social life? Has it costed you relationships? Has it costed you your eating behavior, your mood, your time, your money? If you answer yes to any of these things, then maybe that's a good indication that diet mentality needs to be rejected. Because, I remember often I wouldn't go to functions because I didn't want to have food in front of me, and because I know I would eat it. I didn't have any willpower. And I thought that was a bad thing. I thought that if I ate that, I would be a failure, and I felt worse about myself. So I didn't want to put myself through that. So I would stay away from those things. Um, and I invested a lot of money in those things too, in different things that, told me I was going to lose weight easily and quickly and fast and forever, and that wasn't realistic. So just thinking about that as your first question. And the second question is, what dieting components are you willing to get rid of? So dieting components like weighing yourself every day, like counting calories or macros, whatever they are. And this is a big one for me, is not participating in conversations about weight loss. And that's been a more recent kind of goal that I've had for myself, is I do not partake in conversations about weight loss anymore. If those around me are talking about it, that's fine. Everyone is entitled to what they think and what they feel, but I choose not to, and that has given myself a really big confidence boost in knowing that I'm not willing to do that anymore. And it's made me feel so much better, because when you participate in those conversations, think about how you feel when you leave those conversations. Do you feel that all of a sudden you're being very self-conscious towards your body and towards your weight and your size and your shape? And then you leave the conversation feeling worse than when you came into the conversation. And that often is what happens. And I'm not saying that like, I know there's people out there that choose to do different types of diets for their body. Like, let's say you have a gluten intolerance, so you can't have gluten. So you're talking about how you can't have these things and it sucks. Those are things that are out of your control. Like, if you are allergic to certain foods, or certain foods make your body feel horrible, I get it. I totally understand why you would not want to have those things in your life. So those things are different, and I'm not saying those conversations, but conversations about like, oh, look at my stomach, I've gained so much weight, I'm ugly, I'm fat, no one will want to look at me, I feel horrible, I'm gonna not eat, I'm gonna lose weight now. And so when someone's talking like that, then you're all of a sudden gonna find yourself thinking those same things, and it's just not, it's a toxic conversation. You're not leaving the conversation feeling better, so why partake in it, right? So that's another thing to think about, is really looking at yourself and your own willingness to lose certain parts of the diet mentality, and maybe starting with just one of those things. And even if it's weighing, if you're a person that weighs every day, maybe it's weighing less, just starting to wean yourself off of that. Because once again, women, we fluctuate our weight daily, minute by the minute, I feel sometimes. So really, that's not an indication of your worth, your value, your importance, any of those things. So is it really that beneficial to pay attention to that and have that in your mind all day? So my third question for you guys is, this one's an interesting one. Has dieting served as a coping technique? So when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed or out of control, do you feel like that is when you kind of go, okay, I need to get my eating under control, or my diet, so I'm going to go on a diet? And the thing is the interesting part about that is that it's kind of your locus of control. It becomes your thing that you can control. So when life feels scattered and unpredictable and stressful, often we turn to our diet, of like, okay, I feel like this is something I can control, so I'm not going to eat bread and pasta for the next forever, because that's what I can control. And it's also a distraction too, right? If you're able to focus all your attention on that diet and consuming yourself with it, then all of a sudden those other things that might be going on outside of that feel like they're further away. So if that's something you find yourself doing too, then that might be a good indication to look at how you could possibly start to reject that diet mentality. So those are kind of my three questions for you guys. And I think that the important thing to take into consideration is that when I'm talking about mindful eating and the diet mentality and all these things, I'm not saying that we need to all go sit outside and eat ice cream every day and all those things. It's not promoting obesity or promoting unhealthy people. It's quite the opposite. It's finding Like for example, I'm a plus size girl. I am totally aware of that. However, I find movement that I love. I love yoga. I do yoga daily, and it just makes me feel good, and it makes me feel strong. And so I'm moving my body every day. I love going for walks. I love kayaking. I love paddleboarding. So these are types of movements that make me feel good. So I do these things as often as I can. And so having that healthy, finding that movement that you love is super important when we're talking about all these things. And then eating food that nourishes you. And so it's not saying that we can never have ice cream, we can never have pasta, we can never have bread. It's saying that just enjoying food and eating food that nourishes your body. So eating your good fruits and vegetables and those delicious things, but also eating, carbs are good for you. Pasta is good for you. It's finding that balance of nourishing your life, nourishing your body, and wanting to do that to take care of your body. So all these things, and then my third thing, my tip to kind of take away is to focus on healthy, not skinny. So when you're able to focus on just being healthy, of like, I want to be healthy, so I'm going to enjoy this apple, or I'm going to enjoy this, uh, you know, vegetable, or I'm going to enjoy this ice cream. Like it's all about balance, you guys, and it's all about rejecting that diet mentality of thinking that you can only have certain things at certain times, certain portions, and just learning to make peace with food, which is super important. And it's amazing how you feel when you start to do that work. So anyway, those are kind of my things to leave with you guys today. Oh, I did forget the one part about, oh, that's okay. So before I pop out of here, a couple of things to leave you guys with. Talking about mindful movement and finding movement you love. I have a 28-day yoga and mindful eating program that takes you through 28 days of yoga practices that are 10 minutes a day. So yes, you have time. It's so discovering movement that you love. If you haven't tried yoga, this is a perfect opportunity to do so. And it's also focusing on mindful eating, which helps you to ditch the diet mentality through 4 different workbooks that take you through lots of different practices and thoughts to start to think about your relationship with food and making peace with food. So that program has some spots left in it at the pre-launch pricing. So if that's something that you're interested in, the link for that is in the description of this video. And if you are not in my community yet, I have a free community called Imperfectly Perfect You, Self-Love at Any Size, and we are a group of women empowering each other to love ourselves exactly as we are, practicing through a lot of different holistic approaches. And so if that's a community that you feel like you need in your life, we would love to welcome you into that space. So once again, the link is in the description. So yes, so that is all I had for you guys today. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see ya next time.